Local, breaking now. From WSFA 12 News, this is Breaking News.
Good evening, everyone. Breaking news tonight, a special report from WSFA 12 News. We have just been able to confirm that the jury in Alabama House Speaker Mike Hubbard's ethics trial has reached a verdict. However, that verdict has not been read aloud in court. WSFA 12 News has a reporter in the courtroom in Lee County, and we will break back into programming as soon as the verdicts are announced.
In the courtroom tonight was the prosecution, the defense. Mike Hubbard stood with his attorneys. Susan Hubbard stood behind him. They did not move. The first guilty count, of course, was 4 counts in. The judge reading them one by one based on what was in the indictment in that count. Mike Hubbard's head dropped because all it took was 1 guilty count of this Class B felony to remove him from office. And when you've sat through this trial for 3 weeks, you understand how much this office and how much the power of this office has meant to him. All that was ripped away, Mark, in literally a few seconds.
Right, so he will be removed from office, and we'll talk with Michael in a few minutes about what will change in the state legislature as a result of that ouster. We also should point out that the speaker could face jail time and fines as a result of these convictions, and that will be coming up in the sentencing hearing.
We're seeing the prosecution come right out the front door of the courthouse now. Mark, if you'll take a look, the Attorney General has already quickly issued a glowing review as what he's calling one of the strongest corruption investigative units and prosecuting units in the country, led by Prosecutor Matt Hart. Standing beside him, Acting Attorney General in this case, Van Davis, Michael Duffy, and John Gibbs. The front 4 men have been key in this investigation. Their support staff, investigators, and attorneys follow them. We're going to go to the podium now to hear from Van Davis, the Acting Attorney General in this case.
I would like to first say thank you to the Lee County jury, the patience that they showed in this case. Thank them for their verdict. I also want to thank Attorney General Luther Strange for his commitment to fight public corruption in this state, and his Special Services Division, which are all behind me at this time.
Welcome back to our special breaking news coverage, the guilty verdict of Alabama House Speaker Mike Hubbard. These are live pictures coming to us from the Lee County Justice Center, where a jury came out with that guilty verdict just about an hour ago. That is Mrs. Hubbard you see there, along with her friends, leaving the courthouse. So far, we have not heard a statement from the defense attorneys. We understand that the House Speaker himself was taken into custody by Lee County Sheriff's deputies. This is another live picture from the East Alabama or Lee County jail. It appears as though this is the Sally Port, and you see Hubbard's attorneys there on the left side of your screen, presumably awaiting their client. Representative Mike Hubbard, at last check, was inside the jail working through his bond payments. We understand he likely also had to surrender his passport. It appears as though Representative Hubbard's defense attorney standing outside that Sally Port has stepped up to one of our cameras again, so let's listen in live.
Step is to get Mike home with Susan, and we will appeal, and we think we'll ultimately prevail.
I guess it goes without saying he must be upset. Can you speak to how he's doing tonight? How is he holding up? How about his family?
They're obviously all very disappointed, as we all are.
And just so I don't get this messed up, the total number of bonds right now is at 160,000?
Yes.
And July 8th is the date for sentencing?
That's right.
Any words about the way the case was tried? Any of the early controversies? I know there were a lot of motions, a lot of attempts to have the whole thing thrown out. What's your take on the way that this worked out early on in the case?
We're very disappointed in the outcome. I feel like I let my client down. We think we'll ultimately prevail on appeal.
And that starts immediately, right, sir?
Excuse me?
It starts immediately.
The appeal?
Yes, sir.
The appeal will start after the sentencing. We'll have 42 days to file a notice of appeal afterwards.
Were you surprised? I mean, there were so many counts to fend off. Were you surprised at the verdict?
I was surprised and disappointed.
How was Speaker Hubbard?
Surprised and disappointed.
Does he have any words to the people of Lee County tonight?
No. Mike Hubbard is a good man, and I think we're going to ultimately prevail.
Guilty verdicts on 12 of 23 counts against Alabama House Speaker Mike Hubbard. A verdict not many people expected. Joining us live from outside the Lee County Jail, WSFA 12 News reporter Jennifer Horton. Jennifer, we were hearing rumblings that if there was a conviction, it would be on a handful of counts, not 12 though.
Yeah, it's been a really interesting night. We were outside the Sally Port at the Lee County Detention Facility. Mark, we're expecting Speaker Hubbard to walk out. He's been securing his bonds. We just spoke with his attorney, David McKnight. You can also see with David McKnight, Joel Dillard. That is the defense team out of Birmingham who was with Bill Baxley, three of many attorneys that have defended Speaker Hubbard through this trial. A very sobering mood on this side of the Justice Center tonight. The defense has used few words to explain the mood and the notion and the emotions that have followed what we're all calling a very shocking verdict. It's just a matter of where he is now. His attorneys, Joel Dillard, David McKnight, and Bill Baxley, all came out the front door. They've moved around a little bit, almost like they were playing chicken with us, trying to keep the cameras away from a man who has never denied a shot. If you'll look straight through this Sally Port, there's a black Camaro. There he is. He's walking right out the door, getting into the black Camaro. We believe that's the bail bondsman's car. House Speaker Mike Hubbard, without his jacket on, a button-up shirt, casually walking out of the back. That's him. That's the little black car. That's the bail bondsman. Mike Hubbard has just been released from the Lee County Jail. If you'll stick with us, he's going to come right around the side. Those headlights, that's the car with the House Speaker Mike Hubbard in it. He's now left the Lee County complex.
A young Montgomery woman battling cancer got quite a surprise last night. Beyond Sports, a local nonprofit, surprised Jada Thornton with $500 after selling t-shirts in the River Region area. Jada has bone cancer and recently had her leg amputated because of the disease. That money will go toward a prosthetic. A WSFA 12 photojournalist Corbin Wright captured the story.
Sometimes we get too comfortable with things, and change is really better. So I decided to have an amputation.
Jada's is a young lady that graduated from Carver High School in the year 2014. She was diagnosed with bone cancer. And recently, about a month and a half ago, Jada had to have her leg amputated as a result. Her treatment is going well. She goes about every 3 to 4 weeks, and she stays about 4 days at a time. But her spirit, you wouldn't know it by talking to her. So what a wonderful young lady she is.
Don't give up. I know the doctors have a lot to say, but God has the final word.
Every time she sees a shirt, I want her to recognize that she's supported throughout the tri-community area.
It feels great to know that people really care about you and you really have people behind you. I'm actually trying to go to the Olympics, the Paralympics actually, so I'm going to start training for that.
Good for her. What a positive attitude she has there. The 2014 Carver grad had signed a scholarship to play softball at Troy University. Now you hear she plans to train for the Paralympics. I wouldn't put anything past her.
Oh, yeah. We'll be cheering her on.
Yeah.
Well, this next story is a love story 50 years in the making.
A husband who found a big way to show his wife just how much he cares for her. WSFA 12 News anchor Judd Davis with the story from Cecil out along County Road 12.
It's just awfully special, and he made it just for me.
Ren and Faye Prickett have quite a love story. It all started back in middle school. Well, kind of.
We were in 7th grade at Baldwin Junior High School. So it was 1962. Mm-hmm.
They were classmates in middle school and high school, but that's about it.
I liked him, but I wouldn't talk to him because I thought he was popular.
So they went their separate ways and got married. Sadly, both of their spouses died years ago. And one day, after not seeing each other in 50 years, they crossed paths.
I went up to him and said, "You're Ren Prickett." "Yes."
He sure was. And that led to friendship, some dating, and eventually marriage. And then Faye asked for what every new bride wants.
We watched the Treehouse program on TV, and so one night I said, "I'd like to have a treehouse." Well, I meant like a little deck, maybe to sit on to drink coffee.
Yeah, a treehouse.
It just, just kept growing.
Thing is, Ren is real handy and never had any plans for a little treehouse.
I couldn't believe it.
Come on in here.
You can see right away this wasn't a weekend project. A bed, air conditioner, television, and running water.
We spend the night in it and we're like two kids. We just giggle and laugh and, you know, just have a good time. We enjoy it.
Just a few hundred yards away from home, but it feels hundreds of miles away.
Or I'll say, you ready to go to paradise? And we take off.
And your trip to paradise takes how long to get to?
Yeah, about 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
With photojournalist Doug Gooden, I'm Judd Davis in Cecil, Alabama, out along County Road 12.
And Ren says he's not done yet. He's still working on a way to put a trolley system from the house to the treehouse, and he wants to add a bathroom as well. Who wants a treehouse now?
Yeah, that is.
Special report. Just the thought of someone taking their child strikes fear in the heart of parents.
But unfortunately, stranger danger is real, but there are steps you can take to protect your kids. WSFA 12 News anchor Sally Pitts joins us from a park in East Alabama. And Sally, you set up a little experiment there recently.
We did. We had cameras hidden around this park, and we had an employee pose as a stranger and approach children here at the park that did not know him. The results of this study will shock and scare you and certainly have you holding your children a little tighter. Our employee is standing nearby as the children approach the park. Their parents know what's about to happen, but they don't know how their children will react.
I was just talking to your mommy and she said you like dogs? You like dogs? She had 10 puppies and they're so cute. And your mommy told me that I could take you guys by my house to see them if you'd like to come.
No, thank you.
You don't want to come?
The first 3 children we tested did not fall for it. They ran straight to their moms. Why did you walk away?
Because I didn't want to get stolen. And my dad always said, don't talk to strangers and someone might snatch you away.
Proud of them. I'm a little, like I said, I'm surprised, but I'm very proud.
The next group was a little more trusting.
What do you say we come and you can see the puppy and maybe you can get some chocolate, then I'll bring you back here to your mom.
2 of the 3 children walked away, but 7-year-old Dwayne went all the way to the car with our stranger.
Are we supposed to talk to strangers?
No.
Look, well, why did you go to his car?
Because he told me to see the pet.
And they don't understand that this person could cause me harm when, you know, it's just a little puppy with a dog. I'm about to cry right now. But it's a learning experience.
I've got 10 puppies.
Finally, I brought my daughter to the park to see what she would do if a stranger approached her. What happened was terrifying.
You want to see the puppies? Okay, let's go see them. It's right this way. They're so cute. You're just going to love them. They like to play.
I cannot believe she is going. My heart's pounding. She's not even turned around to look for me.
While this was a setup, real events like this play out all too often. More than 100 children are kidnapped by strangers every year, according to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children.
I don't always see them at the parks, at Walmart, at the library, at any, you know, the grocery store, anywhere that you are out in public, there's an opportunity for someone, a stranger, to abduct or molest a child.
Child Protect Director Jana Bailey says parents cannot talk to their children enough about stranger danger.
They always need to know that there are bad people out there, and you don't want to terrify them, of course, and you want to talk to them on their age limit.
But there's no substitute for keeping a close eye on your children.
You know, you're to stay by me, you're to hold my hand. There are some people in here that we don't know, and so, you know, you have to stay close because we don't know these people. And encourage them not to talk to strangers, regardless. You know, if they don't know your name, then they are a stranger to you.
What'd you say you do?
Scream, call mommy, and kick them.
It's always good to just make sure they all keep an eye on each other too. Know where your brothers or sisters are at all times.
And tell your children if a stranger tries to take them, run, scream, kick, do something to draw attention to yourself. Another good idea, have a code word. That's a word only you and your child knows. Everyone, including family, has to know that word before your child will leave with them. Valerie?